So, a wee update in Rumble. He had his 15th birthday recently, coming up to his 16th Christmas. Out on a walk in the countryside, well, in our village, just on the outside of it. And he's coughing a little bit. He's on this medication for his heart and his liver. And I was just saying, I want to keep him a balance of fairly fit instead of just sitting at home on his medication, you know. Fairly fit. That coughing is apparently water around the heart pressing against the lungs or something, and so it's like a balance of, we need to slowly put up his heart medication but not too rapidly, so he's not getting more than he needs of it. So he's gone from half a pill in the morning and night to one pill in the morning, half at night, and about another 10 days I'll stick him up to one pill at night, one pill in the morning. But yeah, I don't want him to have a shit life and just be sitting at home. You know, it'd be better. Staffies like to just live their life normally. His back legs are getting still weaker all the time, but he still has fun, still wants to hold his frisbee all the time, but if he does, he ends up getting too tired. Happy wee man. So yeah, it's a fine balance. I've had to put him on a different diet. His ears keep on filling up with stuff. So one thing to look out for in dogs, I didn't know about until recently, was when things like their ears fill up with like wax. It's actually usually mites, and don't let them fluff you around with antibiotics. You actually need to do something that actually attacks mites, because the bacteria comes from the mites being there in the first place. So the first doctor I had, she was treating it all wrong. The second one's treating it right. Didn't work, so they did them an injection the other day. It seems to be clearing up. Anti-mite injection, and that comes from having a build-up of toxins from the lymph nodes, and that happens because your dog is taking in food that they're allergic to. And it might have been they could have been fine with that food, like he was fed fish for years. I'm not sure if he became allergic to fish, or it's the fact that some of these fish formulas have so much heavy metals in them, because especially in the northern hemisphere, if they're sourced from fish from the northern hemisphere. So it starts to this is how it might be, how he's got a bad liver and kidneys and heart now, but it might just be because he's, you know, in his 16th year of life, and Staffies have only got like I think 8 to 12 year lifespan for a pedigree Staffy. For a mongrel it can be up to, you know, whatever the bits always seem to last longer. So it could just be his age. But I'm still trying to manage it while giving him the quality of life he's used to. He can't run after his frisbee anymore, but he still likes to hold it, and he still does run after it in a short space. I'll roll it around the ground, you know, like maybe only about 20 meters instead of I used to just throw it, boom, and it'd go like 200-300 meters sometimes, you know, if it holds the wind. But yeah, try and make his life as normal as it was before, and keep him living a happy life. So yeah, about the lymph node thing, I put him on a different diet yet again. I've just been trialing different things, different vegetables. I went down to having just one type of protein they said you should do, because the allergies never come from veggies unless it's on the skin. You can, mine used to get allergic to grass seed. I used to give him upset stomach, and I had to put on this cream for what was it called? Human beings, eczema cream. It would clear up really quickly. If you don't, it would just get worse and worse. It would start to look like mange. But when dogs get older, the same as human beings, you can sometimes develop allergies to things that you weren't allergic to before. I never used to get hay fever until I was in my 20s. There was a tree in England, in my street in London, that I was allergic to. Made me cough a lot, made me tickly chest. Same with dogs, just your immune system gets weaker as you get older. On that note, with the COVID-19, I was with that for about 2 and a bit months, the symptoms of that, and I've started to get them again after at least 2 weeks of no symptoms at all. I'm back to I've got a really sore elbow joint at the moment, for example. That was one of the symptoms, was random joints. One day it would be your left hand or both hands, all your fingers, never be everything at once. It was always like knees one day, foot I got the other day, right foot, as if you've got gout or something. You know, there is a way through here, by the way. I'm just trying to remember where the fuck it is. Anyway, I think you go that way and then down here. Yeah. Okay. All right, you up to that part here. Yeah, and I did a different way one time where I came through here and through there, and it takes you to that mill is, you know, where the neighbour is with the deer. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So one of the things we did is we were making pots of tea, and the tea we just not really tea as such, just in the teapot, chop up shit ton of ginger, shit ton of garlic. I mean, overdo it. Doesn't you can't overdo it. Actually, you can. I ground up the garlic one time and I overdid it, but just chop it up. Basically half fill the teapot full of it, or more than half fill the teapot full of chopped lemon, chopped garlic, chopped ginger, and then a generous amount of honey, and then simmer it for quite a while so it all cooks in. And then once you drink out the liquid, I put some solid parts in it as well because it'll be soft, but you can use it again, just add more honey again, add more hot water. And really just overdose your system with ginger, honey, and lemon, and garlic, and does wonders at the same time as topping up on your vitamins. I just, in life in general, I always try to stay away from things like antibiotics or any other medication for pharmaceutical companies, because I think the jury's out. I mean, the jury's not out on that one. It's conclusive that well, if my business is replacing windows, and then someone goes around the town smashing windows just randomly all the time, you might say maybe it's the guy who's making windows who's doing this. And that's kind of like the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, because your system needs to rebalance again and actually regain the good antibiotics that antibiotics destroy. Exactly, yeah. So, that's nice. That corn's still out. It's weird, eh? Just planning out to rot. Won't dry it in this shit. It'll be dry already. Anyway, yeah. So that was one thing just with my health, but my dog trying different proteins. So I got him on this haptic diet. I think it's called. It's for liver. I don't know if haptic's the right word, but it's. I'm going to try it out for a few weeks. I tried putting him down to one protein. He had a DNA test a while ago to see what he was allergic to. And apparently beef, and there was a beef, and there's another meat, pork. So I've not been feeding him that, but he still had this gunk in his ears. So I went down from multi-meat products into single meat, tried a few different ones, tried lamb, tried, he actually, the weird thing is, even though he's not meant to be allergic to lamb, we bought him a sheep for his birthday, and slaughtered that. Humanely, you know, I shot it in the head, slit his throat. It isn't one thing I want to speak about now, actually, is that I'd like to see a world where even if someone doesn't have to kill their own meat every single time, at least have killed it once. You know, I've killed chickens before, a few of them, because we had chickens, and what else? Deer, I shot a goat, and cook that up. But I think if you're going to eat meat, you should have killed that animal at least once. You know, that should be your aim. Because when you do that, even though I haven't become a vegetarian, I'm finding meat eating is the probably more addictive than heroin, probably about the same addictiveness as cigarettes or methamphetamines. So, if you basically you if you have to kill the animal that you've eaten, you actually respect it more, and you realize what's happening is something. There's actually a cute animal that it's got a life and it thinks its life's important, and to take that and just be another thing on your plate that you're not even thinking about. You've taken away a life that had the right to live. And I've said many times in the past that if human beings don't think this way, then we've got to prepare ourselves to be occupied by a potential, you know, in this universe there might be other life forms out there, and if there is, and they land here, it might not be prime directive like you see in Star Trek, you know, don't get involved with this and that. What it might be is, whatever planet you go to, treat them like they treat, you know, the alpha species treats everything else. And the way that we treat everything else is with absolutely zero respect to serve us, to you know, without any respect for their life or their feelings or their hopes, wishes, dreams. I'm sure dogs have them. They have dogs and every other species. They have dreams. You know, you see them moving around in their dreams. So to say that, oh no, these only happen once you get to a certain IQ, which even isn't a defensible argument, because then you could say that human beings with a low IQ should be slaughtered as well, or their lives shouldn't matter. So that's not what we say. So we've got hypocrisy all around our rules. And if you have to kill an animal, you end up, like for example right now, today when I get back, I'm going to tan the skin. So nothing gets wasted that unless it was just you know, the guts and things like that you know, put back to nature again, you know, and nature will eat it, you don't burn it. That's why I'm kind of against the whole thing of, I used to think I want to be cremated when I die. Nah, just put me in the ground, let the planet get a bit more back, you know, from me. Put a tree on top of me or something like that, you know. Yeah, so I think if people had to kill their own animal at least once, you would have a lot more people turning vegetarian or doing what I do, which is I have a preference for, if I really need meat, it's first fish. If the fish, well, first of all, it's you know, if there's a good vegetarian option, eat it, because there is actually a lot of good vegetarian food nowadays. But if it's not, then go fish, or if you have a craving, go fish, and then chicken, and then I do it like in order of what I think the intelligence level is, but I might be wrong. And then next one would have been things like sheep. If I have to have red meat, you get a craving for it, and then it goes up to pig, and then cow. But you know, from what I've seen, the way that animals act, even sheep, as dumb as they can be. I mean, I've seen sheep shivering in New Zealand. They just get cold, and you're trying to save them from drowning, and they won't even help themselves. You know, fucking just dumb little